Hello and welcome back to the Fortnightly Q&A. My name's Lumin and right now it is time once more to answer some questions. Before I get to them, however, there are some really good ones this time around. As far as I can see, at least I just sort of skimmed through them. I want to mention that I'm a little unhappy about the fact that it's taken me so long to get the finale of Firewatch up. I uploaded the entirety of the Let's Play, all 8 episodes or whatever, in like 2 days or 3 days, and now the final episode is giving me all sorts of copyright issues because of all the different music that they used throughout the episode. So I've had to go through and then I like lower the volume on one song and then the next one is claimed, and then I lower the volume on that and then the next one's claimed. I don't even know. Okay, it's a bit of a pain, but I've now finally got it right. It should actually have gone up just before this, or it'll go up just after this. I've fixed it. Should be fine. I'm hoping it's gonna be fine. But yeah, sorry about that. It's like I set a nice pace with the first episodes, and then this last one is just, yeah. But at least with this one, there's the discussion at the end as well. So maybe the delay has given everyone some time to mull things over, and you can join in and tell me what you think about everything that happened. Okay, and I'm gonna do like a channel updatey type thing soon as well, where I'm gonna talk about what's going right and what's going wrong and what I'm working on and what I'm not working on and so on and so forth. And I guess just life plans as well, although some things are going to be answered here. Okay, some things will be answered here. I'll probably talk about them again in an upcoming video, and I'm going to try and make the Tales of Lumin episodes more regular, and this is the stuff I'll talk about in that video, and all sorts of other things. I've got plans. Okay, I've got plans. Always got plans. Now we're going to start with the questions. Celtic Uchu. Konnichiwa Lumin, to reply to your inquiry about Jesse's subs, he's on an old sub payment model where subs pay $2.99 and they subbed the channel for life, along with the benefits that gives. I had no idea that that was even a thing. I mean, it makes sense because I didn't really watch Twitch or know much about Twitch when it first started up. I think I've said this before, but I was invited to be a partner on Justin TV when it was up and coming, and I just look back and I think to myself, I should have accepted that. I said to the people, I can't live stream, I don't have the internet. It was many years ago, a long time ago, and I said to them, well, I can't in the future maybe, but that offer has long ago expired. It would have been great because the people that had partnership in Justin TV before it became Twitch TV, they actually kept their partnership as it transitioned over. Anyway, that's unimportant. It just means that I need to grind a little to get partnership when Twitch comes up. Maybe I won't need to. Maybe some of my friends in the business can help me out. We'll see. That sub model was discontinued by Twitch a while ago, and their current model is $4.99 a month. See, if I had the choice, I'm not sure which I'd pick, because the $2.99 sub to the channel for life thing, that sounds like it's not a great way to do things if you stream very regularly. Okay, I think that $4.99 a month is not a lot of money. Okay, that's nothing. It's very little to most people, at least. So I think it's totally fair, and I think that most of that also just depends a lot on the actual streamer. You know, for Jesse Cox, $2.99 sub in for life, it makes sense. He hardly ever streams. He streams like a couple of times a month, if I'm not mistaken. Or am I mistaken? I don't know. I see other people streaming much more regularly than him, so it kind of makes sense for his channel. And then I suppose he gets some money from ads and stuff like that as well, so yeah, whatever. That wasn't even the question. I don't know why I spoke about that so long. This round's questions. Do you listen to any overclocked remixes? That's ocremix.org. If so, do you have any favorites? I don't. I know that Total Biscuit used to do a OC remix of the day kind of thing in his news episodes a while back. I never got into that. I don't really like remixes. Okay, I like much more simple music. I don't know how to explain it really, but I listen to some remixes, and I know this doesn't go for all of them, okay? I'm kind of generalizing here, but I listen to some of them and I think that's just noisy. So, I don't know. There are probably a couple of really good ones that I'd enjoy of songs, remixes of songs that I like right now, but I've never really gotten into it. I don't spend much time just listening to music nowadays. I used to quite a lot, but now it's like sometimes in the background or whatever, and I really appreciate in-game music a lot more than I did when I was maybe younger or whatever, but I don't spend time just listening to music. So, yeah, not really. I don't have any favorites, I don't really listen to them. Number 2. When you settle into streaming, will you do charity streams? I.e., all the donations and possible monthly sub fee going to charity? If so, what charities would you consider? I mean, that's such... I want to actually say a silly question. I'd consider all of them, okay? But because of me, because of the way I am, because of my likes and dislikes, and because of the kind of person I am and the life I live, I'd probably choose one to do with animals. Just because. Dogs. Like, dogs in particular. Maybe like an SPCA kind of thing. Does everyone have the SPCA? Animal welfare. Okay, that kind of thing, because I personally don't like going to the animal welfare. Whenever I go there, I get so sad. Then I see all these dogs, all these nice puppies and stuff that need homes, and oh, Nero's a welfare puppy, and I can tell you right now, if you're ever considering picking up a dog, go to the welfare, get one there. You can get a fresh pup there. Usually there are all sorts of them that you can pick from. They make the best life companions. They do. So that's all I can say. I'd definitely do it, okay? Charity streams, all for it. And I would definitely pick one that has to do with animals. But again, any charity is cool. Like, if someone asks me to do a charity stream for them or join in a charity stream event type thing, gladly. Sure. Number 3. Like you, I'm really looking forward to No Man's Sky. However, since the game has over 18 quintillion planets, that means it's possible that no one player will ever meet another player. What are your thoughts on this? Personally, I really like the idea to explore and never encounter another player, except perhaps stumbling upon another's discovery trail. Well, you know, you could potentially find other players. Like you say, it's possible. I think that it's probably slightly more likely in a game that's already as hyped as this, because there are going to be so many people playing it. But, I mean, 18 quintillion is a ridiculously high number. And like you say, you could stumble upon someone's trail, where they've been, what they've found, what they've discovered, and you could follow that. You could always follow that and see where it leads you or whatever. I love the idea. I think that is what adventure is all about. You know, you're doing your own thing, you're making your own adventure, while at the same time you can find either remnants or hints or something of another player's adventure that's out there as well. And I think that's great. I think that the way they're setting it up seems really good, but I don't know. They might still change things. They might still make it easier to find other people. It would be kind of cool if you could head out with a friend. Maybe when you find stuff, you can choose who gets credit for it or whatever, who gets to put their name on whatever they find, and so on and so forth. That would be kind of cool. I think that it would be nice to play something like that co-op, to just adventure with a friend and fly through space with them or whatever. Whether you can put them in the cockpit with you or whether they need their own craft and they can track you somehow, doesn't really matter. I think that either way, co-op for something like that would be great. Number 4. Over the years, MMOs have been sunsetted, shut down. If you could revive one and allow development to continue on it, what MMO would you bring back? I'd bring back the first MMO I ever played, Earth and Beyond. I do know what Earth and Beyond is. It was like EVE Online back in the day. So, sort of like EVE Online. I kind of remember it. What would I bring back? I don't know. Like, I would say Ultima Online, but it's actually still running. It's weird. I just don't think it's really doing all that great. I don't know. I have this thing about Tabula Rasa. I don't know if you guys played that, but for some reason I was very attached to that, and I was really enjoying playing the early versions of it when it was a thing. That was a long time ago, okay? That was a Richard Garriott MMO. It's something that I personally enjoyed, and I'm not even sure why. So I would say that would probably be something I'd be interested in. Then again, there are others. I'm trying to think, like MMOs that never really saw the light of day, not properly at least. I'd like to see some of those revived, but I can't think of them right off the top of my head. Tabula Rasa for some reason just sticks with me. It was this sci-fi, like, I don't know, sci-fi World of Warcraft type thing, but it came out, it looked amazing, the gameplay was pretty fun, it just didn't get anywhere. I think it launched, and I remember even seeing it like a couple of years later when I knew the servers had shut down in some local PC game shops, and I remember telling them, this game doesn't exist anymore. If you sell this to someone, they're going to bring it right back. And then they were like, "Whoa, oops," and they took it off the shelf there or whatever. But I really liked that, and I just don't know why. It's tough to explain. I don't know why. I think that was one of the first alphas/betas that I played in. Maybe that's why. Maybe because I was part of it from the start. But that was really cool. I liked that. It was probably not a good game. Okay, I was very young. Not very young. I was younger and I was less experienced when it comes to MMOs, which is maybe a good thing, and that's maybe why I enjoyed it so much. But it was probably a terrible game. That, however, was kind of fun. I know a lot of people would say Star Wars Galaxies, right? Because that was everyone's favorite for some reason. I never played that, so yeah. 5. A subject that is starting to gain traction in the gaming community is game preservation, whether it's old games or newer games that have had their playability ended due to online servers shutting down. What are your thoughts on game preservation? Would you say that when a game reaches the end of its life cycle, that the complete source code should be released? Should Microsoft and other OS companies develop a full backwards compatibility mode to allow future OSs to play games that are decades old, when the time comes even centuries old? Wow. To think that that might happen one day. I think that before or maybe I should read the rest of this first, or should there be a digital museum created where old games can be played via the servers/cloud when their rights enter public domain? See, that's a great idea, and I think that when one goes forward, surely, now I might be wrong because this is not how companies work, this is not how Microsoft works when they make an OS, but I want to say surely as technology improves and as we further pretty much everything to do with PC gaming or gaming in general, shouldn't it be possible that we'd be able to play older stuff on the newer systems that they create and that they set up? Surely one day you'll have an OS that can do everything. Play a game regardless of whether it's Windows 98 or XP or 7 or 8 or 10, One would think that that would be something that would, work one day. That would be possible one day. I don't know. I guess that the problem is that most of the time these people are looking to the future and they're looking at what they can do going forward rather than what they've done and what they could potentially be cutting off from the past. It's weird. But again, like I said, surely that should be a thing. I think so. I think we'll get to a point one day where the OS that you're using will be so good that it can just do anything. You put I don't want to say a CD because who even knows? Okay, who even knows? But you put something in there, you start this game up, it does a quick scan, it detects what it is, and then it switches to that compatibility mode automatically. But I love the idea of a digital museum where you can play old games, for free or something. You could even have a sub fee or something like that if it gets big enough or gains enough traction or whatever. I'd prefer free, obviously, but that kind of thing is great. Giving people access to old stuff, and it's like a museum because people will learn from that. They can come, maybe future game devs who know nothing about the old games, and I'm talking in many years from now, they can come and they can look at what games were like and so on and so forth. But yeah, I think game preservation is great and something that's pretty important. I mean, at this point, I've had some struggles trying to get some older games that I like playing working, like the Ultima series, like the Final Fantasies, the older ones. It's it's something that I feel should definitely be standard going forward and people should focus on more. That's a great question, though. And that's something that I'm glad is gaining traction because there are so many good old games. And there's another question coming up about it at some point. I'm not sure where. But there's another question about old games that people should care. I would hate it if in 10 years, I'd feel really bad if in 10 years from now, you actually cannot play any of those older games and you need a relic of a PC to be able to play them. That would suck. Navina Weiss. Hi, Lumin. It's a shame Black Desert Online didn't work for you. Yes, you have to buy all the DLC for ESO. It's about $50 for a bundle. That includes the DLC itself and a mount. Totally worth it. At least I enjoyed Oricium. Oricinium. I'm bad at reading, and that name is just super confusing. I know that there were a couple of good DLCs, and like, I saw on the in-game store the other day, I logged in the other day just to have a look, that they have specials and stuff as well, so maybe they'll have a special on the bundles at some point. I want to just check what your question is about. Right, this isn't actually the question, but there is a question in here. The bundles are really decent deals. Thieves Guild will go live in March. You can check it out on the PTS right now for free. Was there something that you didn't like about ESO because you were really keen for it when you played it and when you played Skyrim? Did it not meet your expectations? So, I really did enjoy it. I think that for the most part I just didn't have time to play more of it, and I'm going to go back to ESO. For sure. And I like that they're still working on it and still improving things and releasing more stuff. I'm hoping that it's not too difficult to jump back into, because, like, as it stands, MMOs have a bad track record of this kind of thing where they make stuff difficult to access if you haven't played for a while. But we'll see. Like, I still need to level from the character level that I've got now, which is quite low, all the way to max, and I need to go through all the content from the original game before I even bother with the DLCs, so I don't really mind. Like, I'm going to do that anyway. Definitely going to do that anyway. And I can't say at all that it didn't meet my expectations. I think it was pretty good. Like, I do personally think that they can make some minor changes to the visuals and the gameplay and like the UI and stuff that'll make the game much better. Visuals specifically, I don't want to have to use mods for it to look really good, because I had this mod on for a while that removes the fog from the game, and that made it look 1,000 times better. Like, it just looked so much nicer when that silly fog was gone, and you can't do that in the actual game. Why not? I don't know. But no, I think it met all my expectations. It was pretty good. It was a fun experience, and I'm going to jump back in there. So yeah, I just need to find a gap for it. Maybe when I can stream a whole lot of that someday. I don't know. It seems fun. I haven't even really tried the PvP yet either, so that's something I want to mess around with at some point. But again, it comes down to time. Question number 1. What recording software are you using for your gameplays? So, I'm using DxTory right now. I can actually open it and tell you. There's a codec that you get for DxTory. I think it's called the Lagarith. It's over here. Try find it quickly. And I'm using UT Video YUV420. That's the codec I'm using, not Lagarith. And it's working really well. DxTory. I know that on certain games there are some compatibility issues, and for those I switched to Fraps. Fraps it's still there, it's like a backup for me, and I think that it ends up working with more things, more stable most of the time. I don't know, DxTory is a little up and down, it's a little here and there. And I sometimes use Shadowplay as well. Shadowplay, I think, has the most potential of all the recording programs, but I don't know why NVIDIA is so slow to update it and to improve things. Things like the fluctuating frame rate, it's still a bit of an issue. It cuts off about a second of audio at the end of each recording when it starts the next segment. So it records something like 17, 20 minutes maybe, then it cuts off like a bit of the audio there, then you got this like jump in the audio when you put the two parts together. That's annoying. And one or two other smaller things annoy me about Shadowplay, but overall it's a much better program. Like, I run Shadowplay in a lot of the games that I play off camera just to record some footage or whatever when I need it, and I don't even feel it. It's like, it doesn't slow your game down at all. It's really, really efficient, and it's also very space efficient, which I'm a big fan of. It's just a good program. So I'm hoping they improve Shadowplay more, but that's what I use, those three. Mostly DxTory nowadays. I run my game itself at 60 FPS and I record at 30 FPS at the moment, mainly because 60 FPS takes too long to upload. If I had to make 60 FPS videos, then it would take me double as long. Well, maybe not double, but a good portion longer to upload. So for now, I'm sticking to 30 FPS, but they work well. So for voice recording / audio stuff, I use Audacity. That's just a very, very basic, if I'm not mistaken, 100% free program that you can get. It's simple to set up and understand. I don't do much on that. I record and then I use the noise removal feature from Audacity to just remove the background noise, which would be my PC over here, like whatever other sounds, like the light, the fluorescent light up here makes a bit of a sound. I use that noise removal to just remove all of that, and that's it. I don't do any voice changes. I know a lot of people boost the bass on their voice, and a lot of people make their voice sound fuller in their recordings. And then it's a bit weird because I don't know why people do that, because then they one day record a vlog or something like that, and then they talk in that and they sound like a completely different person. It's strange. Maybe Total Biscuit forced everyone to do this because of the way his voice sounds, so everyone else thought they were inadequate. But yeah, that's what I use, and then to put everything together, I use either Sony Vegas or Adobe Premiere. I mostly use Premiere nowadays because Sony Vegas has huge compatibility issues, and when you render with it, it's much more difficult to get a good quality out of it. Okay, with Adobe, you just throw everything in there, and it ends up being perfect. Straight up, you can just render and it puts everything together no matter what format they're in, and puts it together well. I think Sony Vegas is much easier to learn, so if you start in, Sony Vegas is a good choice. But if you are slightly more advanced, Adobe Premiere definitely gives you more options. Sony Vegas is also much more user-friendly. I don't know, Adobe sometimes a little tough to use, and to put effects and stuff in videos and to make things look pretty, definitely easier in Vegas. But I prefer Premiere overall nowadays, just because of the compatibility stuff. You can throw just about anything in there, and like any FPS, any bitrate, any video format, and it works well. So there you go. Number 2. If one day Bethesda released a new Elder Scrolls game as the next chapter, covering the events after Skyrim, then would you consider playing it? Would you go Wood Elf again and use bow and arrows again, or try something different? Thank you. Chances are I'd probably go bow and arrows again. Chances are I'd go for whatever the Wood Elf equivalent is in the new game, and I would definitely play it, for sure. Definitely. I was still trying to think about what I wanted to do with Skyrim episode 200, because that's like, I don't know, that's something that's been sitting the back of my mind for way too long already, and obviously a lot of you guys are asking about it constantly. I was thinking of some way to just link up Skyrim and ESO, and then just carry on with ESO, but I don't know yet. We'll see. I'm actually not even sure they're going to make another Elder Scrolls game. I suppose they will, just because of the fan base and the demand for it or whatever. I thought that Elder Scrolls Online was meant to be the end, and then they just keep adding on to that. That would be cool, I guess, but some people, I guess they want a single player game. Yeah. Blistig. That's the person's name. I'm assuming it's like a Dutch or Afrikaans name. It could be Blistig. Blistig. I don't know. Number 1. It seems like the passport issues are about to be resolved. Are you guys preparing to move quickly after that in order to minimize the time without reliable internet access in between? Moving and settling up here in Germany will take a number of weeks, plus added variance because of our terrible internet companies. Are you worried about content downtime? I don't think the viewers would mind waiting for you to sort out your living situations and Twitch formalities. So, no matter what happens with our move and stuff, I don't think downtime would ever be a problem, because I could always prepare stuff. I could always upload stuff in advance and sort of schedule it, and then maybe use like my phone or whatever just to put it up, make it live, to check email or whatever. Like, I can find a way to make it work. I said before that if ever there's going to be a time where I will have to do something like a move, where I'll have to worry about a certain period of time without internet or whatever, then I will prepare something for that. So I'll record a Let's Play in its entirety before that time, and then I just upload it over that period. I'd do something. Okay, I could even record and upload vlogs from my phone or whatever. That's a possibility too. I need a new phone at some point. Mine is so slow right now, and man, it's not good. I am still, for those wondering, using an iPhone 4. Not an iPhone 4S, nothing like that. A standard, plain, simple, old iPhone 4. And it's obviously still flawless. It's perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just old and slow. And that's Nero over there. Can you see it? It's amazing. It's the cutest picture. Anyway, we'll see what happens with that. I can't say yet. Okay. I'm super excited for the Hearthstone standard as well. Many predict that it'll take some time for the new meta to settle this time around. Usually we see you playtest meta decks in ranked. Do you plan on continuing that, or will we eventually or finally see you test your deck building chops outside of adventures? I do that every now and then when I'm not trying to like push for a higher rank or whatever, and I'm just trying to have fun. Like this season, for instance, I've already finished my rank 5 with ease. I don't know, I got to rank 5 playing a controlled priest. That excavated evil controlled priest. I got rank 5 in no time. I think I'm even nearly rank 4 now. And then I started messing around with some rogue decks. None of them very good, but I didn't really care. I somehow haven't dropped from rank 5 yet, but I have been messing around with them, and I've been trying new things and trying to see if I can make something work. I've been trying like oil variants. I tried a miracle or two, and nothing really works as well as the standard ones that the pros use, because they've been so finely tuned and refined and stuff. I don't know. But I do think that when standard comes, then there will be a longer adjustment period, because it's the biggest shake-up in ages. Like, I think since, what was it, GVG probably. Like, it's not been this crazy for a long time. That's actually soon, right? I think that standard mode must be coming quite soon. I'm keen, and I'm definitely excited to try build some decks. The chances are, however, like, it depends on how things go, but the chances are I'll play with the classes that I don't have golden yet. I just recently got my golden priest, finally. I'm already sitting on a golden hunter and a golden warrior, paladin, not warrior. So I've got paladin, priest, and hunter, which means I'll probably focus on rogue for a while. I'm hoping rogue is going to be okay, of course, because I want to play that. And then there are a couple of others that I'm interested in. Like, I've always wanted to play mage more, just because I think it's fun. Tempo mage seems like way too much fun, actually. The casino mage style. Freeze mage seems okay as well. I don't know, there's a lot of stuff I want to play. So I'll definitely playtest my own decks as well. I have not been doing great of late getting Hearthstone videos up. I'm a little ashamed of that, and I think that by next week I should have a lot of issues I've been having here at home and with, well, content production sorted out. And then once that's out of the way, I'm going to be getting 1-minute guides up, and I still want to get this WoW video series of mine up, which has been taking forever, but I've got some good plans for it, so you can look forward to that. Dadish. Oh dear Lumin, you should come live in Sweden. Everybody knows English, almost. The elders might not, but at least I think that young people learn it in school there. It's quite good. Internet's fast. If you don't mind living in a smaller town, you can live cheap and near nature. Have you thought about living in Sweden? I have, of course. I've thought about living everywhere. I said before when someone asked about Belgium that, you know, I would live anywhere. I don't really have an issue. It's just what's easiest for us to get to and what's easiest for us to do. That's mainly what it comes down to. And when we move somewhere, it'll probably be because we either know people there, or we have contacts, or it's something that we can manage without too much trouble. So yeah, that's the main reason. Heraculum. Lumin, how's life? I'm back, and I'm going to try start watching more of your videos again. It's good for you to be back. I'm glad to see you around again. I do remember that name very well. I, for some reason, remembered the profile picture that you had on as well. I don't know why, but life is good, I suppose. We've been having some troubles here with things and stuff, but everything's fine. And I have also been having some sleep-in problems. I don't know, it's tough sometimes. You know, just doing the most simplest of acts, just sleep in. It's a little difficult sometimes, but overall, things are good. And we are excited to move. We're excited to just start the next chapter of our lives, so there you go. My question is, have you ever had your Steam glitch out on you, where the EULA is just not working? like in a tiny box. I have no idea. I've never had any issues with Steam. Not really. Like, my Steam is perfect. Oh, have a nice day and say hi to Nero for me. I will say hi to Nero. He's outside somewhere. I'll do it. I'll give him a hug because I love giving him hugs. But I gotta say, Steam overall has just been great for me. I don't know. I've not had an issue. I assume you've Googled it and you've deleted your Steam client registry.blob file. That's the one, right? The .blob file, you delete that and then it like usually fixes all the problems you have. But it's good to see you back, Heraculum. Shadow tells the warrior. Hey Lumin, it's time for another grim question. If you were drafted into the armed forces, what would Helene say to you? Firstly, that's very unlikely, but you are asking if you were. I don't know. Come back alive, my dear. Get one of those jobs that they let you sit in an office. I don't know what, like this army's armed forces, oof, that would be rough. This country, sorry. I don't know. I wouldn't want to go to the South African armed forces. I think that you learn a lot more and you get a lot more good life experience from a proper country's like enlistment process and drafting process and stuff like that. But no, I don't know what she'd say. Okay, I don't know. She'd wait for me. That's all I can tell you. She would. Morten Ordegaard. You mentioned that you enjoyed Doom. Have you ever tried Brutal Doom? It's a nice revamp and revitalization of the game. I know Brutal Doom. I sort of... I know about it and I've seen a little bit of it and stuff. I didn't like the original Doom very much. I'm a Quake baby. Like, I played Quake 1 a whole lot and Quake World a whole lot. And then Quake 2 a little bit and then Quake 3 way too much. I never really got into Doom all that much. I played Duke Nukem and I skipped out on Doom. I don't know. It's very strange, actually, but I don't have that nostalgic attachment to Doom for that old game. Like, it's mainly because I played a lot of Doom 3, like a whole lot, and the new Doom looks like fun, so yeah. But I have heard of Brutal Doom, and it does look good, and I know a couple of people were talking about it and saying nothing but good things about it. A couple of bigger gaming people, I think Total Biscuit being one of them, so I've definitely seen it, but yeah. Is there anything you would ever consider picking up again? Another old game you would consider playing on the channel? I've always said that I wanted to try one of the Ultima games on the channel at some point. I like the idea of Final Fantasy games, I guess. But like, classics are always good. There are some classics that I'd consider playing. It's just, it would not be good from a business standpoint. It wouldn't make sense. But it could be fun. So maybe if I stream one day, I could stream older games sometime. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Mr. New Mountain, are you going to play XCOM 2? I didn't get XCOM 2. I didn't want to spend the money on a brand new game, a $60 game or whatever. And Steam was recently converted into Rand from dollar, so everything costs even more for us now. It's a little painful. But I didn't want to buy a game that I would probably not spend any time or enough time on to make it worth it. It's unfortunate, but right now it would just be a waste for me. If I owned the game, I probably wouldn't be able to put enough hours into it. And as for like a Let's Play or whatever, again, I'm trying to actually cut down on stuff so I can do the things I really want to do on the channel, the things that will help the channel, like the 1-minute guides, the WoW video that I want to do, and some other stuff, like Adventure Worthies and all that. I want to also start, and this is what I'm going to talk about, like I said before, in this channel update that I'm going to release in a couple of days. I want to start jumping into more MMOs, doing a character creation and then doing a mini-series on them. I had Blade and Soul ready to go and I never did it because I had other stuff to play in the meantime. So, like, I want to do that. There's a lot of things I want to do, so XCOM would just not find a space on the channel. Unfortunately. Jonathan Elkins. Lumin for a cross of WoW and Deus Ex. It already exists. It's called Shadowrun. Elves, orcs, magic, and evil corporations. I know. I sort of know that, but it's not really what I meant. I mean, I know it is actually probably the closest thing you'd get. And I love Shadowrun. I haven't played very much of it. I enjoyed the bit that I played immensely. And I'm probably going to play that on stream one day as well. Just because I want to play through Shadowrun. And I think that would be great to play with other people, like, to interact with. Because that's the kind of game where you've got to make up your mind about a lot of things that the game doesn't tell you everything. It's the kind of game where it won't spoon feed you every detail about the story, so there'll be a lot of theorizing about what's going on and all that, and we can do that together. I'd like that. I would. And it gives you guys an opportunity to play through the game and, like, you wouldn't have to read everything, right? Because I'd be reading it for you. So there you go. There you go. That wasn't the end of it, though. As for my questions, outside of watching and liking videos, is there any other way for us to help support or grow the channel? Also, can we get a link to your Twitch page so we can follow it and be ready for that glorious day when you start streaming? twitchtv.com/talesoflumin. Everything is Tales of Lumin everywhere. I'm trying to use that on everything. And I'll put a link below as well. But as for what you can do to help grow the channel, I don't know. Like, I'm not very good at this kind of thing. That's why my channel is still so small. Tell people to watch my videos that you think will enjoy the videos. Again, like, liking/sharing videos is amazing. To support me, you can buy a t-shirt. I don't know, that's all I can think of right now. I'm going to try and get new t-shirt designs up soonish. We have an artist in mind that we're going to speak to soon, and I just want to think of what I want to do with it first, so we can get a good design up, and then also where I should be selling. If any of you know a lot about this kind of thing and you know which site is definitely the best to use, please tell me, because it's something that I need to consider. District Lines has been nothing but good to me. They always pay me on time. That means, like, when there's something they need to pay me, they pay me. There's no problems. The site itself has not been down or whatever. They restock stuff when there's no stock. It's good. It's a good site. But I've heard and I have experienced that it costs a bit much to buy when you're further away. So I don't know. And it's also slightly more iffy making designs. I know certain sites allow you to use the same design on different things, like hoodies and t-shirts and mugs and all that kind of stuff. So if you know anything about this, please tell me. It's something that I'm going to look into in the not too distant future, but that's not supporting the channel and not helping the channel grow. That's something entirely different. So as for that, like, it is just watching the videos, liking them, and spreading the word, I suppose. Like, if you ever see an opportunity, take it. Shamelessly promote me. I don't mind. Seriously. I am, again, not very good at this. Like, I should pay more attention. I should try and, I don't know, mess around with my metadata more and try and get my videos picked up by search results and stuff. I've been lucky. The reason I'm still afloat is stuff like Elder Scrolls Online character creation. Like, that's been saving me. I think it's got 500,000 views and I'm still getting thousands of views on it every day, and it's great. But I need more of that. So yeah, that's getting a bit off track, but that's how things are. Alyssa L plays. Okay, Mr. Lumin, here are two good ones, I think. Number one, pick 3 games that would work well in a movie/mini series. Mine would be Half-Life 2, Bioshock 1, and Mass Effect. You know, funny, I'd definitely pick Half-Life as well. Just Half-Life in general, and I'd say that a movie of Half-Life would be great. Just because it has that appeal. There's a great story, the setting is cool, it's an idea that a lot of people can maybe relate to and you could sort of see in your future somehow that it could possibly happen one day. It's good. And Bioshock, I think Bioshock Infinite would be a great place to start. I don't know. Mass Effect I'd definitely go with as well. As for other stuff, personally, I think StarCraft is very well suited to the movie treatment. Anything Blizzard really is quite good. Let me try to think quickly. I would love a Beyond Good and Evil movie based on the game, because it would be, I don't know, like, it'll be something I'd watch. It would be a good story, a good movie or something. Not a series, a movie rather. I'd like to see a proper Final Fantasy movie/series based on, like, some of the maybe lesser known characters that were still very interesting. Forget about Cloud, please. For the love of God, forget about Cloud. I think we've all seen enough Cloud for a lifetime. That would be quite good. I have better answers for the next part of your question, by the way. I think I do, at least. I hope I do. I don't know. Games, like, what do I even play? Let's look at some of the stuff I play. Oh my god, Fallout would be great. Fallout would be amazing. Of course. I don't know. I'd like to see an Overwatch miniseries, just because. I know they're working on stuff for that as well, but I don't know. Like, I can't say. Games to series slash movies, I think you went and stole the best ones. Seriously. Let me go look quickly, hold on. Because of stuff that I recently played, or played on my channel or whatever, I should be able to tell you. So, playlists. Going down here. Damn, Enslaved was really good. Odyssey to the West, that was quite good. The Telltale games are great, but they actually are pretty much series, right? And Dishonored as well. Man, Dishonored would be... Whew, that would be good to watch. Yeah, I don't know. Let's move on to the next part, because that's something I can answer easier. On the flip side, pick 3 movies that would work well as a game. I would say rather series. Like, I recently started watching or finished watching The Expanse. That would make an amazing game. I just think that it might be a bit tough to choose what kind of game it would be, because it's got such a grand scale. But The Expanse was amazing to watch, and the setting was great, and then the story that they told, that they managed to squeeze into just 10 episodes, was great. Like, seriously, seriously good. I've been watching The 100, and the more I watch of it, the more they expand on everything in the game, the more I like the look of everything that's there. So I'll pick that as one for sure. As for movies, like, wow, you say yours would be 24 Days Later as a survival horror, the Bourne series as an action-adventure game, and then Lord of the Rings as an open-world RPG. You can play Lord of the Rings online. That exists, doesn't it? Is that still up? I think it's still up. I think it's still up. You say like the Elder Scrolls, though. It's not the same as the Elder Scrolls. But movies, man, I don't know. I haven't been watching enough movies. I watch some, and I always think to myself, you know, maybe, but then, I don't know. You can't really, like, it would work, in my opinion, if the movie didn't exist. Like, if the Bourne series started as a game series, and it was that, right off the bat. I know it started as a book series, so, like, maybe if they took the books and made games, sort of like Splinter Cell / more action-y, maybe. That could work, but when there's a movie and they base it in the games of a movie, it never really pans out. As for 24 Days Later, that's a zombie one, right? Isn't it? I've seen enough zombie games. I really have. Keep up the amazingly good content and pet Nero from me. He's getting 2 pets, while he's getting a pet and a hug. He's gonna like that. That's the final question. I don't know. I'm always so bad when I'm put on the spot and I have to select movies or series or whatever. I'm gonna actually be recording a couple of Tales of Lumin episodes in the not too distant future, wherein I talk about some of the series that I'm watching and maybe some of the movies that I've watched recently. So you can look forward to that as well. But there you go. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them below. I'd love to answer them. About anything, about life, about games, about the internet, about Nero. I like answering those the most. There you go. Happy that.